Hey everybody, welcome to the Book Bar. It's Tuesday night. That means live Star Wars trivia. I'm Justin. With me as always is my brother Tyler. Tyler, how's it going tonight?
It's going pretty good, buddy. And I got to tell you, I feel something awakening within me. And that's because it's Book Bar Trivia Night. I could not be more excited. So glad to have you all along with us. How you feeling tonight, buddy?
I'm good to go. I'm not in the hot seat tonight. I got to prepare the questions. I think I put together a tough but fair set of questions for you.
Tough but fair.
I'm interested to see how you do, but that is secondary, of course, to what I'm drinking. Now, Tyler, What's on tap for you tonight?
Tonight, in honor of how unbelievably hot it has been lately, I just went back to the basics and did myself a little summer shandy. Because I got to be honest, I've been sitting in ball soup lately. Spent the weekend outside, and holy crap, it was a moist one, I'll just say. All right, you're drinking the same thing you just showed?
I am. I also have summer shandy tonight.
Yeah.
Leinenkugel from Wisconsin. But I'm also finishing up, of course, my Bell's Oberon wheat ale as well.
Yeah, that was your before stream beer. Then before that, you had your afternoon beer.
Yeah.
You have your morning beers. You got beers throughout the day. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those pill boxes that's labeled, different times of the day when you have to take them, you have your beers for that. And it's so smart. The organization that he puts behind it is it's very, very smart.
Yeah. It's kind of like, is it Maria Kondo? Is that her name? How do you say it? It's kind of like she created, the one who does all the organizing on Netflix. Do you remember her? Isn't it Marie Kondo? You have never heard of Marie Kondo, the person whose name I'm obviously getting wrong? You've never heard of this person?
I have not heard of this Kondo person.
She's the person who had like a Netflix series or special about like organizing and throwing away your clothes and clutter and how you fold clothes. You literally don't remember that?
I distinctly, I feel like I would remember a show that was about how to fold your clothes, and I do not recall anything like that.
It's riveting television. I think it was probably trending number one on Netflix for a while. But
really, I never saw it. You know what? Now that you say that, did she do it with celebrities?
I think so. Yes.
Was that what it was? I think Carrie might have watched that a little bit. Yeah. And I got some good naps in during that show. So no, I never saw it. Name does not ring a bell. All right.
Well, anywho, it's like she created my beer chart thing so that I always know when to have a beer throughout the day. And as we've established before, I always like to have a few before I drive anywhere because I'm very self-conscious about my driving. And so it really helps. It really helps. So
absolutely does.
Well, that's what's on tap for us. So moving right along into our second segment, Frederick's Fact Check. So for those of you that are not familiar with the channel, maybe tuning in for the first time, we have a fact checker, Frederick. He's one of the best in the business. And he goes over our previous week's streams to look for any false or misleading statements that Tyler or I might make throughout the show, and then comes back, puts together a report, sends it to Tyler, and then Tyler reads the report on the air. Because unlike so many people nowadays, if Tyler and I make a mistake, we like to make it right. So we have Frederick checking us. He sent his report to Tyler. Tyler, what did Frederick have to say about last week?
Well, let's dive right in. Frederick says here, first off, Tyler did not see Droopy McCool, the Chinden Kalu flute player in the Max Rebo band, at a live concert, nor did he ever share a hookah pipe with Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, I mean,
So you were just you're boasting about that?
No, you know what I think happened? I got drunk one night and I saw Louis Anderson play the recorder at a dive bar, and I feel like I just mixed those two up. I mean,
very similar. In fact, I heard that
identical.
inspired the that scene in Jabba's palace.
That inspired him. Exactly. So you see how this mistake could occur.
I do. And I also see that now we're going to have to apologize next week to Louis Anderson.
Right. Maybe we'll have him on the show. We can apologize face to face. Next up here, Frederick actually has a fact check for a member of the chat.
A member of the chat. Good. Let's call people out. Yeah,
exactly. So last week, Frederick says we put up, I've got to put up this image. So we held up this image, and Templar Pops, our council member, said, quote, "Yeah, my mother-in-law. There she is right there." So Frederick says this is not Templar's mother-in-law. It is, in fact, a cross-section of a Sarlacc. And Frederick says that he reached out to Templar's mother-in-law for comment, and he's awaiting a response. So apparently stay tuned for that. We're going to hear from Templar's mother-in-law about how she feels about being compared to a cross-section of a Sarlacc. So
okay. Well, Templar, if you hear before we do, let us know. We're interested to see what she has to say about that.
There it is. Finally, Frederick says, last week, Justin believed that one of Tyler's questions improperly used the word there. That's the apostrophe R-E there. So the contraction for they are. The question in question, which is written in the form of an answer, was as follows. This character once said that they're not very good at telling stories, is how the question started out. And this was the problem point. Justin argued that's
the correct way. They are, yeah.
Right. And Justin argued that the question should have used the possessive pronoun there, T-H-E-I-R, because it's referring to their stories. But Frederick says the question is simply stating that they're not good at telling stories. So if we reread the question using they are, we get this character once said that they are not very good at telling stories, which would be grammatically correct. Thus, we could use the contraction there, meaning that Tyler was indeed correct. And Justin, you were wrong.
I have to delete that graphic. I have to delete that graphic.
And it will go up 1,000,000 times, buddy. And so I actually got vindicated. I feel like I've been beaten down by Frederick a lot lately. So that was a nice
well done. Yeah, Frederick has been picking on you a lot lately. And, the second time you read this, maybe I misheard the sentence the first time. Because, the second you read that, I went, no, it's saying they are. I must have misheard it the first time.
Yeah, and because I thought so. Okay, I remember on stream we were even talking about. It's like, well, no, isn't it? They are. But again, your confidence is just my undoing, and I was again fooled by it. And so I just went with the flow. But hey, we got Frederick correcting these mistakes, and you've had double vindications of late. So
that's true.
You should feel pretty good. So finally, I get a win there, and there it is. There's a Frederick fact check, Jess.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Frederick. Sort of, I guess. And thank you for all of you hopping on the chat. What's going on? Everybody, Ray, Templar, Jedi John, Pop Sid. Jedi John, aren't you in Disney World right now? Shouldn't you be doing the virtual ride in the Millennium Falcon right now? But now he has streamed us before from a movie theater. So maybe he is in there right now. I don't know.
Right. Oh. Yeah, a bunch of people turn off your phone.
And that's when he should turn around and go, that BookBarBros are on.
It's a BookBarBros.
We're the BookBarBros. Next thing you know, we're a national sensation, but we will remember where we came from.
Exactly.
When someday we have hundreds of subscribers.
We will never forget our roots while we're wiping our tears with $100 bills. We'll still remember the little guys, All right.
Yes, we will. Well, thank you so much, Frederick. And hey, Tyler, this is exciting news as well. This week, back as our sponsor is, of course, Bantha Jerky.
It tastes like, but it's food, as is their motto. And we couldn't be more thrilled to have Bantha Jerky sponsoring us. Make sure to get some at your local Whole Foods.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we heard a rumor that Whole Foods may have picked Bantha Jerky back up. Obviously, because only 70 calories, delicious meat snacks. So maybe if you don't have a Whole Foods in the area, check your local gas station, right? Or perhaps Walmart seems like the kind of thing that would carry Bantha Jerky. Delicious meat snacks, 10 grams of protein, great stuff.
And you can even see there, it says it's made with premium Bantha. So it's good.
It's good.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Bantha Jerky. We're glad to have you guys back. And with that, Tyler, moving right along, it's trivia time. Everyone's everyone's objectively favorite Star Wars movie, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I feel like Frederick's going to call me out on that. Perhaps
we'll see.
Perhaps not. Let's put this up. Ray asked if he can order Bantha Jerky on Amazon. You can, but the package will come damaged. So just be aware.
Keep that
be aware
mind.
of that. Yeah, you're gonna get a damaged boxer bag if you order it through Amazon. So, all right. Now, before we get into this, of course, I prepared the questions, as I have said earlier, for tonight's trivia contest. Tyler is answering. First, we have to tell everybody how Book Bar Trivia works. And Tyler, as always, that is your job.
Book Bar Trivia consists of 4 rounds. The first round is the Youngling level. This level consists of 5 questions worth 2 points apiece. These are questions where a Star Wars fan that watched the movie recently should have a very good shot at getting these questions correct. The second round is the Padawan level. There are 5 questions in this round worth 3 points apiece. These questions are much more difficult and require great attention to detail, as any information that can be gleaned from the movie itself can be used as a question. This means even something said only once or in a passing breath is fair game. Very difficult round, and then it just gets harder with the third round, which is the Jedi Knight level. There are 5 questions worth 6 points apiece in this round. These questions are not for the faint of heart, as anything considered canon for the movie is fair game. This means supplemental reading is absolutely required for success in this round. And the fourth and final round is the Jedi Master level. 11 points are up for grabs in this round, which will consist of multi-part questions to see how deep your Star Wars knowledge goes. Only the most diehard of fans will have a chance in this round, and if I get every question correct at every level, I will score a perfect 66, and then Justin will have to perform a humiliation of my choosing. And that is Book Bar Trivia. And as always, don't forget that we encourage the chat to participate. They can give right answers, wrong answers, misleading answers, funny answers, absurd answers, and we can always go to the chat for help. We just have to sift through all the nonsense to do so. And with that, Justin, it's time.
It is time, Tyler. The Force Awakens, Episode 7 trivia. You are up, and chat, feel free to really focus on those wrong and misleading and funny answers tonight. No reason to put any correct answers in the chat. Tyler doesn't need your help, so feel free to just flood the chat with nonsense.
Yeah. Unless I am struggling, in which case, do not adhere to that advice. Please give me your right answers. But you know what? I think it's going to be smooth sailing today. I feel very confident. I feel very good about this one. But let's see. Let's see what tricks you have up your sleeve, man. Yeah,
we will see. You know, I'm looking at my questions, and I think if you scored 66, I would not be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if you got 4 or 5 wrong. I don't know. I feel like that's a really big disparity.
So,
I know,
right? So it's totally meaningless. You think any possibility is possible in this round?
No. I didn't say that you would get only 9 right. So.
You know what? Tyler, I'm looking at these questions, and I think you could get a perfect round. You might only miss 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. 5. You might get them all wrong. I don't know when I'm looking at these questions. All right, that doesn't tell us much.
You're gonna do one of those things. All right.
All right.
Now, of course, we are starting in the Youngling level. These are what we consider to be warm-up questions, just to get us all rolling, squeezing those mind grapes. Tyler, are you ready?
Let's do this, man.
Question number 1. BB-8 spots Finn on Jakku after noticing that he was wearing this allegedly deceased pilot's jacket. It looks so good on him that the not actually deceased pilot later tells Finn to go ahead and keep it.
This scene, so in my rewatch, there's been some speculation about, maybe some romantic involvement between these two, which in The Rise of Skywalker, right? It would be one of these. One of these things. Now, Justin, which one would open up to accept the other one? How does that? Can you explain how that works to me?
Those are 2 separate Office references. Any Office fans out there?
So, and I've always wondered, where did people pick up on that? Because in my first watch through, I never sensed anything like that. Really, in any way, I felt like there was really no sexual energy coming off of anybody. But in this rewatch, I have to be honest. When they're talking about the jacket, he gives him a look, right? So this allegedly deceased pilot gives him a look. So he's like, "Hey, is that my jacket?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry." And he's like, "No, You keep it. Looks better on you anyway.
You know, I didn't catch the bottom lip bite the first time around.
He bites his bottom lip, and like he
bites
gets,
his bottom lip.
yeah, and then like kind of grabs his shoulders, and I'm like, yeah, man. If someone does that to me, I'm thinking, wow, they want to throw it out. You know, like they want to turn the lights out right now. Like if you played some like sexy jazz music at that moment, you'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely, he's throwing off some vibes.
So it's not as hard maybe as the vibes he was throwing at Zori Bliss, you know, at the end of The Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
But yeah, I think we're going to keep Frederick busy next week.
We'll have to get a clip of that. I mean, man, that look was something else.
Oh yeah, no, I've already got ideas. Well, we'll talk later about how we're going to make this work, how we're going to vindicate ourselves on this one. All right, Tyler, do you have an answer to question number 1?
Yeah. So that pilot was, of course, Poe Dameron.
It was, in fact, Poe Dameron. Correct. Ding. You get, I think, 2 points for the first round, right? It's 2, 3, 6, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's 2. Yep, absolutely. And so
we don't know.
I did not know this. So Ray is saying there was actually a deleted scene where they get it on. So that makes a lot of sense. That's why there was so much speculation.
Yes. And if you have learned anything from watching these streams, you, viewer at home, it's that Ray can be absolutely trusted in the chat. Anything that Ray puts in there, you can bet your bottom dollar it's absolutely accurate. It's a good thing Frederick doesn't have to fact check Ray, because we'd have to hire Frederick full time. Right. And these streams would be 9 hours long.
Yeah. Honest Abe, more like Honest Ray. That's what we call him around here.
Well, okay.
That is his new epithet. So congratulations, Ray. You are the most trustworthy person in chat. So yeah, check out that bonus disc, because you get to see some real graphic but tasteful love scenes between Poe and Finn. So there it is. Yeah.
All right, moving right along. Question number 2. Kylo Ren is the leader of this menacing black-clad band of misfits that will surely play a much larger role in episodes 8 and 9.
Well, I mean, it gets slightly bigger.
I really worked hard on my question writing this week.
Yeah, but much larger, I don't know about that. It's really too bad. It's weird, too, because I feel like, you know, they mention it pretty early in this one. And yeah, it really seems like it's going to play a large role. And when you do see them, they seem really cool. But man, what a letdown that is. You just don't really get much of it. And so it's like, okay, yeah, he's the leader of these guys, but what does it even matter? You don't see him, they don't do anything. And the one time we see him, they all lose, you know?
Well, yeah, and the one time they fight Kylo Ren when he... Okay, we won't turn this into a bash of The Rise of Skywalker. Tyler and I are realists. We love Star Wars, but we can pick. We have no problem picking these things apart when we think there are big flaws. And the fight scene with Kylo Ren / Ben Solo, you know, on Exegol when he fights the Knights of Ren, makes no sense. One, he has a blaster. He turns the corner. He sees the Knights of Ren. The blaster's gone. I'm serious. Go back to The Rise of Skywalker and rewatch that scene. He shoots a guy. He's got a blaster. He comes around. He sees the Knights of Ren. He doesn't have a blaster anymore. So instead of just shooting them all, of course, what do? Plot convenience. You just pretend like he didn't have a blaster 2 seconds ago. Then, after they're whooping him, they have him beat down. And every time they beat him down, and you're like, they could just do the killing blow. It cuts away in a real Game of Thrones season 8 vibe, and then cuts back, and they're all standing 8 feet away from him. And you're like, what's happening? Yeah. Why are they doing this? Don't do this.
You know, that always kills me. You remember when I mentioned to you too before, if you had a nickel for every time the enemies could have actually shot the good guys and just ended it. I mean, it's countless times throughout the entire Star Wars saga. Really, next time you watch
plot armor. The heaviest of plot armor.
Right. And again, the good guys, they are mowing down people with no regard for the
murderous lunatics.
Not even Finn, right? Finn used to be a stormtrooper. You would think there'd be some sort of internal conflict with him about just, unabashedly killing people left and right. No, he doesn't care. He'll
Yep.
blow these people apart right, without a second's thought. But when the bad guys have the good guys cornered, it's always like, no, you're going to stand trial, all right? Like
Right.
we're
gonna take you to our leader. Yep.
Yep,
can escape.
every single
So you
time.
can
Just amazing. Well,
All
of
right, Tyler,
course,
so
Justin,
who
this
is this
menacing
black-clad
band of misfits is the Knights of Ren.
And that is correct. Absolutely. The Knights of Ren. And as I said, they will surely play a much larger role in episodes 8 and 9.
Yeah, we're still waiting.
But no, yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick side note. But before we go on, have you heard these rumors going on about Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau? Possibly yeah. Have you heard that? Sort of retconning and actually getting rid of a lot of the sequel lore. I think I don't think you have seen Star Wars Rebels.
I haven't seen Rebels, no.
But to me, Star Wars Rebels, without giving too much away, essentially establishes, because it's considered canon, a type of quantum realm in the Star Wars universe, which could allow for the changing of past events. And I think that could be the way they do it. But we won't speculate on that too much. It's just in the last few days I've seen not really any super reputable sites running with it. It's I don't know if it's like Mike Zero, on YouTube going with it, but I've seen a bunch of websites are starting to say their rumors are going around that they are thinking of ways to try and, almost make it like a, where they could tell a new story. Yeah, like a multiverse where they could tell like basically a new story where like they wouldn't have to necessarily say that they're not canon. It would just be like an alternate timeline or something. Like
another branch of reality.
Branch of reality, essentially.
A Back to the Future style thing, right? Where Biff is actually like super powerful and runs a casino, right? Like one of those dark timelines. All right. So anyways, digression over. Moving right along. Let's go. Question number 3. This film's quote-unquote Death Star is actually a gigantic planet, appropriately referred to as this. Right, absolutely. Well, I mean, Justin, it's not just another Death Star because it's way bigger. So you got to remember that. It's way bigger, as even Han Solo points out. But pointing it out from the audience's perspective doesn't change the fact that it's just another Death Star, right? So, of course, know this one. It's actually a gigantic planet referred to as Starkiller Base.
That is absolutely correct. It is Starkiller Base.
All right,
3 for 3 in the Youngling level. I thought that one was going to trip you up. So you're actually doing really well. You're really hanging on. Good. You're doing great.
Okay.
Pop says, give us the Filoni cut. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There we go.
I would love Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni to take control into alternate universe, the sequels. I would be more than okay with that.
That would be fun.
All right, moving right along. Question number 4 in the Youngling level before we start getting into the tougher ones. Before the decision to help BB-8 set her on a path to discover the force that awakened within her, Rey made her living on Jakku as one of these.
Indeed. Not much of a living, though. Holy crap, because that Unkar Plutt, man,
he's a stingy mofo. 1/4 portion for all that?
1/4 portion. So, she scavenges this part off of a Star Destroyer. She's over there, on her hands and knees, scrubbing this thing like crazy. I mean, think about the amount of work to go out there to find this part, to then come all the way back, to be cleaning that thing up. 1/4 portion? Are you kidding me? Are you joking with me right now, man? But that's,
have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Equals what it looked like, 1 green muffin. Is that what you would say? It seemed like 1/4 portion was essentially like a green muffin.
Yeah, and so there was the muffin, and also I think that it's like the veg meat. So there's like some veg meat and the muffin, which is called polystarch. Is what those little packets are. And I got to tell you, I mean, to give Unkar Plutt his due, they look delicious. It looks absolutely delicious. I would definitely
something you want to eat every day. Yeah,
exactly. I would eat that every day for the rest of my life if I could. But it's just not enough. 1/4 portion for all that.
You'd be very thin. I'd
give
lose
me a
weight.
break.
We'd lose weight. That'd be good.
You know, that's true. And that, I mean,
But
we
you'd
could
look
both do
amazing.
for that. Right. Right.
But think about how amazing you would look.
Oh, God, we'd look so good. So, yeah, Justin, she was, of course, a scavenger.
That is absolutely correct. Ray was indeed a scavenger. You are 4 for 4 in the youngling level. Let's see if you can get this next brain buster.
All right.
In the youngling round. Kylo Ren's father is this hero from the original trilogy. And I'm going to give you a hint to make this easier for you.
Okay.
It's not Mr. Ren.
It's not
Just
Mr.
so
Ren.
you know. Now, if we clip this and release this like on TikTok or something as a short, no, morons who are watching this, that we're joking and we don't actually think this is a difficult question. Okay?
Well, I do. I have no idea. I mean, I would have guessed Mr. Ren because he would have been like, "Hey, call me Kylo." You know, Mr. Ren is my father. You know, I just assumed something like that would have been said. No, of course, this is a big moment. Carrie actually just watched this for the first time. Just saw the epic death scene with poor old Han. She's blown away. She's like, "Is he really dead?" You know, because people come back in this universe all the time.
Not like in Marvel, but they do. Yeah, okay.
Right, yeah. So but they still come back. And so yeah, she was devastated. Han died. She cried for weeks on end after watching this scene. I could barely console her. So I know it was rough. But yeah, of course, Ray says it is Mr. Penn. And that was the tricky part. It's not Mr. Ren, which is what you'd think. It's Mr. Penn. Now, of course, it is indeed Han Solo.
Mr. Penn. That's one of Ray's dumbest answers yet, and yet it made me laugh, I think, more than any of it.
But Pop Sith coming in hot with the correct answer, which is, of course, Han Solo. Well done, Pop Sith.
All right. So, Tyler, well done. You crushed the youngling level. You are 10 for 10, 10 points, 10 possible. You're killing it. But before we move on, just a reminder that we are on Patreon, 5 levels available if you want to support the channel. Now, we do a couple of fun things for our patrons. There is a link down in the description if you are interested and you're not already a patron. One is we do a monthly contest for all level 2 and up. Now, this week's contest, you had to give us a random number that is said in the original trilogy and tell us why you picked that number. Now, if nobody got the number correct, Tyler and I get to arbitrarily look at the answers, pick the one we like the best, and award that person the winner. This will allow us to spread things out a little bit if nobody actually gets the answer right, because people were getting boxed in when we were doing closest to the number and creating a real Price is Right thing. So we didn't want that. So this week, Tyler, nobody got the correct answer.
Mm-hmm.
The number was actually 7. Echo 7, which was Han Solo's call sign in The Empire Strikes Back at Echo Base on Hoth. Now, since no one guessed 7, we get to give it away to whoever we want.
And we picked ourselves.
We picked Tyler, here we go.
Guys so
Tyler,
good.
You get a Darth Vader.
Oh, I
get a Revenge of the Sith book. We win.
Oh, we did it. We did it, guys. Okay, that's great. All right, moving on. Next round, Justin.
So we are going with the Pop Sith. That's right, Pop Sith. Your answer of 35 for 35,000 being the amount that Jabba the Hutt and Leia / Bausch agree to, we thought was the best, most creative answer, and we felt really bad for Templar, and was it Unboxing Treasures or Jedi John boxing you in a couple of months ago? Yeah. So you are the winner this week. So you get the Funko Shop exclusive Darth Vader, and you get a copy of what many people consider to be the best novelization of a Star Wars film, Revenge of the Sith by Matthew Stover. Congratulations, Pop Sith. Thank you so much, everyone, all of our patrons. Thank you for playing. Thank you for participating. And next up, we also have teased this before, but we've officially launched this now.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this.
All patrons now can participate in our Star Wars trivia contest. It's for patrons only. Mm-hmm. All tiers are eligible.
But yeah, all tiers
are eligible. Each week, we will send out a timed quiz with 10 Star Wars trivia questions. And you have 2 minutes to complete the quiz. It may be multiple choice, true or false, fill in the blank. This week's quiz was launched. Did I put it last night or this morning? But it is available for the patrons right now. And this is going to run for 12 weeks. And at the end of the 12 weeks, the patron with the highest point total is going to get to come on the show and sit in the hot seat like we do every week and answer questions for a chance to win some amazing prizes. It might be BookBarBros merch. It might be Star Wars Funko Pops. It might be books. It might be t-shirts. We're going to have all kinds of crazy stuff. And the better the winner does, the more prizes or the better prize they will earn. We're super excited about this. So for anyone watching this who is a patron, it is up on Patreon right now. Go take the quiz. And then each week we're going to show a leaderboard of the top scores and the leaders. So you know what you got to shoot for. And Tyler, we are just so excited. I'm having more fun. I had more fun creating this quiz for the patrons this week than I did writing the questions for this.
Right. It's super exciting because I just think it'll be so much fun. Someone wins the quarter actually coming on the show and trying to answer these questions with a lot on the line. Because again, we're going to try to make some cool prizes so that the better you do, the more and more it's going to pay off for you. And we're going to have something, some really cool stuff if you do really well to really try to push you guys to test your Star Wars knowledge the way that we do. So we think it's going to be awesome. And of course, if you're a supporter of the channel and, you just want to play along, but say you won the quarter, but didn't want to come on the show because you're nervous about it, that's totally okay. You can still compete. And winning the quarter, you'd still, there's still going to be a prize for winning the quarter regardless. But if you want to go for the big prizes, you'd have to come on and answer all the questions. So you have to win the quarter and you have to come on and then sit in the hot seat. And we just think this is going to be a blast. We're really excited about it. We'll track everybody's scores. We'll keep everyone updated on how everybody's doing on the leaderboard. Probably show like the top 3 spots each week to see how things are moving around. Maybe every now and then we might offer bonus points here and there. Who knows? We're figuring it all out as we go. But it's going to be great. We're
just rolling. Yeah, we're just rolling. So look for that. If you are watching this and you are a patron of the channel, be sure to go take the week 1 quiz because it will close probably. I think we should talk about this. Tyler and I have not necessarily decided because if someone becomes a patron 5 weeks from now, the question is, should they be able to go back and take the previous 5 quizzes? So, this is going to be somewhat on the honor system. Obviously, sharing the answers on the quiz would not do you any good because then you would just get beat. So, but you only have 2 minutes. It's a quick time quiz. You can take it just like that. It won't take a lot of time. You can hop in and do it and be done with it. So but we're excited about that. So if you're interested, there's a link down in the description for that. All right. That's enough about Patreon. Congratulations, Popsit. Thank you, all of our patrons. And we're really excited for this trivia thing. Let's move on to the Padawan level questions. All right. Now, the difficulty steps up significantly. So if you are watching this for the first time, again, the Youngling level is basically a warm-up round. Now, anything that was said in the movie is fair game at all. And then it's supplemental research, as Tyler said earlier, when we get into the Jedi Knight level round. So, Tyler, are you ready to start the Padawan level?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
Okay. Question number 6. After briefly capturing our heroes on Takodana, an unnamed stormtrooper says, quote, "We have incoming at blank," signaling the arrival of Poe Dameron and the Resistance.
Absolutely know this one. And I could even tell you who said it.
Really?
Yeah. This was a cameo by Kevin Smith. I'm almost positive.
Kevin Smith is the one that says this line?
If it's the one
I know Kevin Smith has a cameo on Takodana as a stormtrooper, but I remember people were having a hard time identifying what he actually said or which role he actually played.
Oh, really? No, I'm almost positive it is this one. Because in my rewatch of the movie, this came up, and when I typed the line in, because sometimes there are lines like this where if I catch it, I'm going to try to memorize it, and it popped up that this was Kevin Smith's cameo line.
Really?
And so, I'm almost positive that this is the one.
Okay.
And so, interesting question here from Popsith. He says, "What level do you think the questions are?" So that's a good one. I mean, what would you think? Because it's kind of a mix. It's not like it goes in gradual order like how we do the show. Yep. That's obviously what you'll be doing. if you win the quarter, you'll come on just like us. The questions will get way harder as you go. But for the quiz, it's just kind of a mix. Some of the questions are really hard. Some are pretty easy. And you got to be snappy because it goes quick. And that timer is always clicking. So like the minute you start the quiz, the timer is going. You've got to start answering your questions right away. Some are like multi-part, so you don't want to be taking your time.
Yeah. So varying difficulty. Pop Sith, I would say that they are varying difficulty. So they're, I'd say around half of them are pretty easy. And then there's a few more difficult and then one or two difficult questions.
Yeah.
And they're all different styles. So they're not just multiple choice. There's true, false. There is a fill in the blank where you actually have to type the answer in. And there's a match where you have to match things. And that's all I'll say about week one. But they will vary and they're all over the place. And so Tyler, I created the quiz and I gave it to Tyler. Tyler took it. I don't know if Tyler wants to share, his performance or not. He doesn't have to do that.
I did mess one up. I did get 9 out of 10. I made a mistake on one, and I will never live it down the rest of my life.
Well, we're not infallible here. I mean, we get questions wrong on these things.
We get questions wrong.
They're meant to be. Yeah, they're meant to be difficult. But yeah, so Tyler took it again under time pressure. Makes a big difference because you don't really have time to think. You got to kind of instinctively know it or go with your gut. And so, I mean, 9 out of 10 is still a fantastic score, but just to go to show that even like we can be tripped up on these. So for whatever that answer's worth. Yeah.
But just to show you that just because I got 9 out of 10 doesn't mean I don't know my stuff. Justin, I believe the correct answer is 28.6.
Tyler, the answer to this question is absolutely 28.6.
There we go. There we go.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. This question was insanely difficult. But I knew it was one of those ones that you were going to pick. I knew it's one of those ones you were going to pick.
And I told you I would bet money. I'm almost positive that this is Kevin Smith's cameo. Is that the 28.6?
I wonder if I can even get this real quick.
Yeah, if you look that up.
Kevin Smith, Force Awakens, cameo line. Let's see if I can get it real quick.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. It turns out that he did have a line of dialogue. I'm going to have to open the article.
Okay.
And
just going to read it. There'll be 15,
you're
20 minutes.
Right. Stormtrooper reacting to incoming resistance fighters. We have incoming at 28.6. Move.
That
was the line.
I told you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Look at you.
So even though I did trip up on one question for our weekly quiz, I still know my stuff. Like Justin said, I'm human, but we're going to make mistakes from time to time. For those who have watched since the beginning, we've definitely stubbed our toes on easy questions before.
But we've also crushed a lot of insanely difficult.
But we've also hit a lot out of the park. And this is one too where I should have got it. But like that, it's the time pressure. You got to be quick. Oh yeah, just trying to be snappy, and then just like, oh my, I can't believe I made that mistake. So that you got to be careful under time pressure.
In that question you got wrong, I called immediately too, didn't I? I said you got it wrong because of X, didn't you? And you were like, yep.
Just going too fast and forgot that one thing. Yep.
All right. So
before we give away those questions in the quiz.
I know, because we want to talk about it, but no patrons, and you have to go on and take it yourself. All right. So that's a 3-pointer for you, Tyler. Moving right along. Question number 7. Finn and Poe's escape from the finalizer required them commandeering a TIE fighter, which resulted in an, quote, unsanctioned departure, end quote, from this bay.
Yeah, absolutely. There was another bay I thought you might ask me about. Do you have any other questions that involve bays, Justin?
I do not. Nope, I do not.
Okay. Yeah, so there was another bay that I thought would be a good one. This is only in the visual dictionary. But the other ship that they're about to go to before they go on the Millennium Falcon, because it gets blown up. Yep, the quad jumper. I didn't want to say it in case that was a question.
And did not ask you about that. Yep.
So you saw that it was in Bay 3? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I saw that in the visual dictionary. I'm like, oh, God, that is a good question. Because it's just like a fine print footnote in this huge book.
I know.
Yep. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. So I made sure to remember that one. But yeah, this is one that is said in the movie.
Yes, I was just going to say that would have had to have been a Jedi Knight question.
Yes,
because it was not mentioned in the movie. This is actually said. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So I know this one. God, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't this one said by that one kid from who was in Game of Thrones?
Oh, the kid who plays Jojen Reed.
Yeah. I could be wrong on this one. This one I'm not as confident as my Kevin Smith one.
No, I don't think that's him.
That's not him. Yeah, he's in this though, right? I'm almost positive he's in this. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So, but he's not the one who says this line.
Yeah, he plays an Imperial, whose name escapes me, but I
don't remember.
So Unboxing Treasure says Tampa Bay.
Right.
Ray says
Guantanamo Bay. That's why they named it that, is because it was a Star Wars reference and people were trying to be cute. But no, the correct answer, I believe, is Bay 2.
It is in fact Bay 2. Absolutely correct, Tyler. Wow. See what I was talking about is I was like, you might get 5 wrong. You might get them all and just cruise right through. Because I'm like, these are questions that are very, very difficult questions that people could easily slip up and miss. But I know that you typically crush those. So, okay.
Yeah, these are my wheelhouse.
The Jedi or the Padawan level is right in your wheelhouse because it's the very forgettable lines, but it's said in the movie, and you just always crush those. You always crush those. All right, so moving right along. Question number 8. Padawan level, here we go. According to Han Solo, the Guavian Death Gang must have tracked the Aravana from this planet. According to Han Solo, the Guavian Death Gang must have tracked the Aravana from this planet. Now, he is not... Wait, so he doesn't seem super confident on this one?
No,
Maybe?
I know it.
Maybe?
It's... I'm just a little worried about pronunciation all of a sudden because I kind of blinked on it for a second.
Well, let me just say that as long as it's perfect, I will accept it.
Oh, okay. Well, then what am I even worried about? Is it...
No, it's not no.
Okay, it's not okay. I was just testing you. Do you want to go to the mall later? That's what I was trying to say.
No, I do not want to go to the mall later.
Okay,
Keep
I'll get back.
Yelling, mister. That of course is a Billy Madison reference.
Is it Nantoon?
Tyler, it is absolutely Nantoon. Okay. Well done. Oh, wow.
Okay.
What did you think it was?
I blinked a little bit and I was like, is it Nantun? Is it Nantoon? Like I was trying to, because I couldn't picture how it was spelled, and I just knew it was like Nan something. But because I blinked, it like, how you get that little flutter, like, oh crap, well, what is it? But then it came back to me. And then it just, I think, blanking on it for a second made me a little nervous. But okay, we got it.
No. See, I think those were 3 very difficult questions that you handled all 3 of them. So you're doing really well, because sometimes the way that we build these levels, I sometimes think the Jedi or the Padawan level questions can be more difficult than the Jedi Knight questions sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, it depends on. Yeah, I've definitely had rounds where I've even told you that, where it's like, I feel like these Padawan questions might be the hardest ones. But then sometimes it's the reverse. It all depends. Yeah. But either way, there's always a significant jump from the youngling to the Padawan.
Always a jump. Big time jump.
Right.
All right, so we're moving right along. Question number 9. This is question 4 in the Padawan level.
Okay.
He's perfect so far. After half the Resistance fleet is destroyed in the attack on Starkiller Base, C-3PO says that they will need a miracle now, as the weapon will be fully charged in this many minutes.
Okay.
I will say that this number changes several times throughout the film, but I'm giving you the specific scene in which I want the number.
Yeah, because I think that the trip up would maybe be the 30 minutes that I think is set at one point, but you're saying this is after half the Resistance fleet is destroyed in the attack.
After half the Resistance fleet is destroyed in the attack, C-3PO says that they'll need a miracle now, as the weapon will be fully charged in this many minutes. Jedi John in the chat at Disney World, riding the Millennium Falcon right now, says 12. Unboxing Treasures says 14.
Oh, man. And I don't think either of those...
We have not heard from Templar. We have not heard from Popsith. Ray, luckily, has not said a number yet. But whatever he does say, you can just go ahead and check that number off.
You can bet your bottom dollar it'll have a decimal in it. No doubt about
says
it.
13. 12, 13, 14.
I think everybody listened to you, and they are just absolutely dead set on not giving me any correct answers. But you know what, guys? It doesn't matter because the correct answer is 10 minutes.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm 99% sure.
99% is good enough because that's absolutely correct. It is 10 minutes.
All right. I'm going to say I felt very confident with that.
Yeah,
All
unboxing
right.
treasures. We hope you guys all had a great 4th and a great holiday as well.
Absolutely.
We went to my sister-in-law's and her husband's house, and they had just bought a new house on like a little, like kind of mini little private lake in a new neighborhood. And it was awesome. They had like 5 neighbors that were lighting off huge fireworks. It was like definitely a measuring competition, and I mean everywhere. And then we could see
what were they measuring?
Fireworks. Well, how big their fireworks were.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and so like it was literally like great. Like we're like, if they want to do this every year, we should come here every year because it's great. Because all the neighbors were lighting them off, and they were like really good. Like, sometimes people have them and they're just little sparklers, but like people were skyrocketing. We had one that shot almost into somebody's house. It was a blast.
Guy almost died. Oh my! We had just a great time. The best time. No one,
as far as we know, was injured in the stray fireworks. But
yeah, no one we knew was injured. Let's put it that way.
All right, Tyler. Right. So yes, you are absolutely correct. It is 10 minutes is the number C-3PO gives at that exact moment. You're one away from a perfect 10 for 10. Looking really good heading into the Jedi Knight round. Are you ready?
Let's do this, man.
Question number 10. This precinct housed Starkiller Base's thermal oscillator, which prevented the planet from destabilizing and imploding.
No questions about this one whatsoever.
You backed up away again very confidently. It's like you lean in and then you read the end of the question before I'm done reading it, and then you back up and you smirk, and I'm like, that son of a bitch. Like,
oh yeah, and know this one. Well, this one, it was the beginning. The precinct one knew right away. Was totally prepped for this one.
And there's only one precinct that has a number assigned to the movie. Yeah.
Yep. And it's just, that's one where, again, prepping for trivia to not write that one down would be insane. You would just have to have missed it, not been listening at that point. I feel like the 28.6 was a harder pull than this one here. The 12th precinct, maybe the 13th precinct. Isn't there? There's a movie called like Assault on Precinct 13 or something. I think it had Lawrence Fishburne in it, like an action movie. I think that was a movie. I saw it.
I think you're right too. Okay, hold on. Assault on Precinct 13. Absolutely correct.
See?
It looks like it was an old movie that was remade. It's a 1976 movie that was remade in 2005. Isn't the internet wonderful? It's absolutely
just
wonderful.
Amazing. And so what was it? Lawrence Fishburne?
I don't have actors because I think this one's showing me the old group.
Unboxing treasure. 12th precinct was Barney Miller. Laugh a lot. I'm pretty sure Lawrence Fishburne was like
he was Ethan Hawke, Lawrence Fishburne, and Gabrielle Byrne.
That's who the other one was. Yep. That's right. Yep. Yeah, man, haven't seen that in a long time. All right. Well, but this particular precinct,
we really need one of those. The more you know, like G.I. Joe things that come up at the top of our. We need that graphic. We need to create that graphic because
I'm gonna make
we go off on these little pretentious side quests where we end up trying to. Educate people. Well, really, we're just looking things up and stating what they are, but we definitely need that little graphic up at the top. The more you know.
Yeah. We definitely need to do that. Yeah, because we go on tangents on movies all the time. We're movie buffs just in general as well. So, all
right, Tyler, precinct
47.
Precinct 47 is absolutely correct. You are a perfect 10 for 10. You crushed. You absolutely crushed the Padawan level, which again, I thought was filled with difficult questions. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I gave you any gimmies there. Those were all difficult questions, and you crushed them all.
And honestly, the only one I even blinked on for a second was the Nantoon one, which I don't even think was that hard. I just, for some reason, blinked on that one for a split second, but felt very prepared for those ones. So that was good. We cruised through that.
Well done. You're killing it. You're looking good.
Well, thank you. Got my hair cut.
You're doing well tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you. Oh, you're
I'm
looking
blushing.
good. You're
I'm
answering
blushing.
questions. Look at you.
Oh, thank you, buddy. All right. Well, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go for this perfect round. We have yet to have one. We have never had a perfect round that happened perfectly on stream where someone got every single question correct. We've still never had it.
We have not. Now, we have both had rounds where we have missed one part of a bonus question.
Yes. Yep. That has happened to both of us. That's crazy. Yep.
I believe I had that the first time around with Solo, where you got me with the last final bonus thing. And then you had the one with Rogue One that we retroactively awarded. And then you had another one.
The last. Oh, yeah. And then I had The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was the one where it was the model of the ship.
Right? Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
I got
the
all
model
of them.
The one you got all the ships, all the captains, and then missed the one model of one ship.
Right,
yes.
and I still knew what kind it was, but I didn't know the exact model, and that
you didn't even know the model. Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I stayed awake at night that night.
So close, as you should have. I just noticed that it looks like Kylo Ren's lightsaber is like piercing right through my body. Did you notice that?
It's great.
Just kind of seeing it. It's just kind of like, the blue one is just kind of shooting out of the bottom of your body, but I am definitely being fully impaled according to this.
and it feels so good.
It feels so good. All right, so before we move on, just a quick reminder that we have affiliate links down in the description. If you're not familiar, affiliate links are just a great way to support the channel at no additional cost to you. If you're a collector, we have an affiliate link for Entertainment Earth. So if you like Star Wars or really anything down there, if you buy something from Entertainment Earth, that's where we get a lot of our stuff from. You go down and click the link. Anything you buy helps support the channel at no additional cost to you. And if you're a creator, we have, trial and error through all kinds of different programs and things, and creating thumbnails and creating, with music and everything in our backgrounds and our streams. And so we have links down there too for all the programs that we have reviewed and that we currently use and approve of. So if you're a content creator and you're interested and you want to check that out, again, no additional cost to you, just a great way to support the channel if you are interested. Thank you.
Well said, buddy.
Thank you. Moving right along, Tyler, are you ready for the Jedi Knight?
You know it.
Level questions.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very, very good.
Let's take a chug. Let's chug a little beer here.
Okay.
Ready?
There we go.
And cheers to you at home as well. Pick them up. Your beers, your apple juice, whatever it is you're drinking. Up. There we go. All right. Question number 11. Number 1 in the Jedi Knight round.
Okay.
During the massacre at the village of Tuanul, this stormtrooper and friend of FN-2187's smears blood on Film's helmet as he dies.
Oh yeah, no big deal. That's how I'm gonna start doing it every time I know it. Oh.
So, if you'll recall, and I'm guessing you recall, I tipped this question when we did this the first time around, and I answered the questions because you asked me for the name of a stormtrooper that I didn't know, and I got wrong. And I said, I can't believe that, because I was literally prepped for what I thought was every named stormtrooper, every stormtrooper in the movie that had an actual identification number.
Right.
And you literally asked me about one that I didn't realize had an identification number. So I started rattling these off. Do you remember this? And I mentioned this one as an example. Oh. And you were like, oh, that was a good one. I didn't realize that one even had a number. And so I thought, I'm going to test him and see if he remembered this and remembered and saw it to study for it.
I actually didn't remember that specifically. I just, in going through, since it was my turn in the hot seat, I made sure that I, but which one did I ask you about? Do you remember?
You asked me about the one that shot Rey, or that Rey.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, what? That one has a number?
I was like, God,
I TK whatever, and I was like, this FN, and there's a bunch of other ones, and I was like, God dang it!
Yeah, I mean, just that one's a piece of cake, dude. He's holding the chair, he blocks a pencil with it, and then he gets hit by lightning. It's TK417. I mean, it's not difficult. All right. So yes, during the massacre at the village, great scene too. I love the fact that they smear the blood on the helmet. It's just so smart too how they do it, because then you immediately recognize the stormtrooper in future scenes. Also creates a bit of a darker image right off the bat. Humanizes the stormtroopers, even though that never really plays a part later on, as we got to.
No,
but in that moment, it was awesome. And I believe this is FN 2003.
FN 2003 is absolutely correct. FN 2003, and that's a 6-point question for you. Oh man!
I gotta start thinking of other sports, because I keep doing like the basketball thing, but so there I just did like an archery.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? Okay. Maybe next time I'll do like a dart. Maybe I'll do like I'm like frying an egg or something. I don't know.
I like the frying an egg one. I like
frying an egg. Maybe I'll I'm turning on a shower.
Like you're getting it, and then you're like flipping it. Maybe you're spinning around and catching it and driving. Yeah, I like that. What do you
think? Maybe making a pizza. I'll do for one, right?
I like making a pizza. One of my favorite playing pinball, right? Just kind of boom, and then playing those battles. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've got to have my celebration dances down.
Yeah, we definitely need to work on our celebrations. And then we'll make those into t-shirts.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely
merchandising.
Correct.
It's always about merchandising.
Merchandising. Spaceballs. If Spaceballs taught us anything, it's that it's all about merchandising.
Indeed.
All right, Tyler. Moving right along. You're looking pretty good here. Good here. Question number 12. These iron-beaked carrion birds found on Jakku are drawn to the magnetic signature of metal.
I gotta put my feet up.
They're gonna get worse. I really hope if you would have fallen backwards right there, it would have been hilarious.
No worries here. Oh man, is this gonna be the one? I feel like there has been no stress thus far. Not one bit.
I hope not. You really have blown through these questions so far.
I'm feeling really good. All right. Now Templar says Dio Birds and Ronnie James. I don't know. He might think he's in a different chat right now.
Ronnie James.
He is very confused. No, Templar. The correct answer is Steel Peckers.
Tyler, it is Steel Peckers. It is absolutely the Steel Peckers. Oh man, I just had a great joke that I'm going to censor for. The ping pong paddle slam. It's like the victory point. Oh,
exactly. The over the top ping pong. Okay.
Yeah, I like that one. All right. Man, okay, Templar, we're going to censor that comment. That's not getting up there. All right, moving right along. Question number 13. Tyler is 12 for 12. He is on his way to our first perfect round, where the penalty for me, I assume, would have to be that I would have to do 5 push-ups or something.
I mean, that would be pretty embarrassing for you, because you would not come close.
I could not do them. All right, here we go, Tyler. 3-parter. Okay. 3-part question. After fixing BB-8's antenna, Rey gives the following directional advice. Blank is that way. Stay off blank. Keep away from the blank in the north. You will get 2 points for each correct answer. After fixing BB-8's antenna, Rey gives the following directional advice. Quote, blank is that way. Stay off blank. Okay. Keep away from the blank in the north. You get 2 points for each correct answer. I'm actually not sure at this point if he is thinking, or if after the 2 over celebratory leanbacks, if he's trying a different thing, to try and mess with me. So I'm not sure.
So I'm struggling with the second one. I believe it's the town is that way, because I remembered it reminded me so much of Dumb and Dumber when they're like, sorry about my friend. The town is that way. Right? Remember at the end of the movie?
That scene in the movie is just one of the best, because you're like, look at that. They realized it, and he's actually running him down, and he's actually going to stop the bus. Guys, it's just so perfect.
It's amazing. And so I remembered that. And then I'm pretty sure it's keep away from the sinking fields in the north. I think it would almost have to be.
Okay.
What does it stay off of? Stay off of. Stay off. Stay off the trail. Stay up. God. Popsith, what do you got for me, buddy? What do you got for me, Popsith? Do you know what the second one? Okay, well, we've got unboxing treasures with freedom is that way. Stay off drugs. Keep away from the hippies in the north. I feel like I remember if something like that was said. So I don't think that's the case.
You sure you don't want to accept that as your entire answer?
I don't. So right now I am being shot at right now, but the show must go on. So,
there's obviously got to be fireworks going on in the background. Is that what it is?
Yeah, our one neighbors bought $800 worth of fireworks for the 4th.
$800?
$800 worth of fireworks. They were going off for a long time. Really great though, very spectacular.
Yeah, Unboxing Treasure said, "Is someone beating a drum in the background?" That is Tyler's neighbor shooting off fireworks.
That is what that is. Oh man, this is so disappointing. What did she tell him to stay off of? Stay off the what? Stay off the path? Stay off the trail?
Well, Tyler, I will tell you this. A correct answer at stay off the blank will not secure a perfect round for you.
I'm actually wrong on one of the other ones?
Yes. Yes, you are. So the perfect round has already been... Now, I'll see if you can get it for a secondary. I'll give you 1 point if you can come up with the correct answer now. But blank is that way. Ray does say at one point, town is that way, but it's not as a part of this sentence. After she says this, BB-8 follows her, and then she points and says, town is that way. But that's a second after this.
So does she say the Nema outpost?
She does. She says Nema outpost is that way.
And then is it still keep away from the sinking fields in the north?
It is sinking fields in the north. You're correct.
Okay, so I get 3 points for that.
You've got 3, and I will give you the half point for the first one.
But the perfect round is dead. Okay.
The perfect round is dead, but you stay off blank.
Oh gosh!
Excuse me.
Oh, I was. Oh my god! I was
to be honest,
as well as someone could cruise.
To be honest, I thought you were going to slaughter this one. I thought you were going to be all over this one.
I don't know why. This one is just an absolute weak spot here. I don't know why. Stay off what? Stay off brutal. Nope, that doesn't work. That hurts. I'm sorry, guys. I really thought this was going to be the perfect round.
We were so close. I really, looking down too, I was like, he really could. He could run this. This could be the first perfect round. Now, the bonus question is very, very. It's not easy, but it's and I don't know how to describe it.
Well, I'm a little nervous about it because even in rewatching it, there's not a clear bonus to me. Like some of the other movies, the way that we do the bonuses,
yes,
there's definitely like multiple parts in the movie question. Where like, it could be one of like these several things, but they're hard. Like that, you have to go deep on them. This movie, like, it doesn't lend itself that well to those types of questions. So I'm a bit nervous for the bonus. So this sucks. Stay off the lawn, Ray says. I mean, that's not a bad guess. I'll just say stay off the trail.
So it is a place. They are all places. So it is Nema Outpost is that way. Stay off Kelvin Ridge.
Oh, I was just going to get. I was going to say, well, let me guess because I would have guessed Kelvin Ridge because that's where Tunnel Village is. And then keep away from the sinking fields in the north.
Keep away from the sinking fields in the north.
Oh, that's a great question.
Follows her. She says, town is that way, and points back.
That's when she says that.
Whines, and then she takes him with her.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say I knew I heard the town is that way because I'm like, no, I thought of the Dumb and Dumber thing right away when I saw that. Okay.
Yeah. So you still earn 3 points. You still earn 3 points.
I still got 3. Gosh.
Yep. And there is 2 questions to go in the Jedi Knight round. Are you ready for question 14?
Okay,
now, if Tyler knows the answer to this, anybody who's watched these streams before knows that he's not going to hesitate. He's not going to slow play. Whenever Tyler gets a question wrong, the second he knows the following question, he answers it immediately. Like a pitcher who gives up a home run is just determined to throw that fastball right down the middle and just boom, get the next hitter out. So here we go. Question 14.
I'd say I gave away a seeing eye single. I don't know if I gave away a home run.
Maz Kanata kept her dearest treasures.
It's a
including
curio
Luke
chest.
Skywalker.
Moving on to the next question.
In this type of old chest made from wroshyr wood.
It is a curio chest. Let's just get this over with. Let's move right along.
I'm going to decline that as incorrect.
Oh, what? You're going to decline the correct answer as incorrect?
It's not technically the correct answer. Well, it is, but it's not. It's the second word, but it's not called a chest. They don't call it a chest, even though it is a chest.
The curio box.
Yes, it's the curio box. But yeah, he really wanted to show off there. He probably went into the chat and pre-read that question so he could be like, I got to get this one right away.
I got to just nail this immediately.
But that one is correct. The curio box. Yes. All right.
Okay.
And we're moving on to the last question, the final Jedi Net question before we slam a beer and we get into the Jedi Master multi-part question. Tyler, are you ready for this one?
Let's do this.
Captain Phasma, played by the incredible Gwendolyn Christie, grew up as a member of the Siri clan on this nuclear-ravaged world.
Is it Parnassus? Parnassus?
Look, I hit it in your face.
Not entirely. Parnassus?
Is it Parnassus? Is it Parnassus?
Yeah, I mean, is that right? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct. I told you he's going to want to fly now. He's going to want to fly through these last couple of games.
I was actually a little uncomfortable with that one.
It is Parnassus.
Okay.
Now, it is OS. I assume it's pronounced Parnassus. I don't think I've ever heard it pronounced officially. Parnassus, you might say, but Parnassus is correct. Now, I honestly felt like, too, if you had cruised along, you could get that question wrong. Yep, that could have been a showstopper.
I blanked on that one for a second, but I know I've seen it because, I mean, it's in the... at least, I don't know if it's in this one, but it's been in one of them because obviously Captain Phasma shows up. Yeah, it shows up in this one. Obviously, she shows up in The Last Jedi as well. So I've definitely seen that at some point, but I did blank for a second, but it came to me. God,
yeah, that was a tough question. And, you know, at first I thought, is asking about the random homeworld of just a character, you know, like a fair question? But I thought, we've done that before lots of times. And I was like, you know, he did it with me with Solo. The question I had to give the home worlds of like the entire Beckett gang. And so I'm like, this is fair. And Phasma's a popular character. You know, you could say a main character that was underutilized in most of the films, but still, it's like, this is a fair, it was again, it was the final Jedi Knight question. Well, and he still nailed it.
Yep. And again, the Jedi Knight supplemental reading is supposed to be required, right? Like in order for us to do this. So it's got to be those deep, we got to be able to do those deep pulls. But now, God, this is really going to suck because if I go perfect, if I get this master question, it's going to be that one multi-part question that I missed on. But I'm nervous about this Jedi Master question because I honestly...
To be honest, I don't know. We'll just get into it. This is visual dictionary information. And so you could very easily run this, or I think you could really struggle with it. You know, I really think it's going to be if you if you kind of remember the scene, remember what I'm going to ask about, and you're like, oh yeah, I recall doing my research about that. It's not easy. It is not as easy as, you know, name, you know, Red Leader and, you know, some of those ones. Right. It's not that easy. So, this is a big time supplemental question to the point where I even almost did what I did with Jyn Erso, you know, the Rogue One question, where I asked you for like all of her aliases in canon, but like the visual dictionary only gave a certain amount. It's kind of a similar type question, but then I did not do what I did in Rogue One. So I went back. I assumed I made it fair. So before we get there, it's last call. So let's grab our beers. You at home, grab your beer, your glass of wine, your bottle of liquor, your one-shot shooter, your cannabis, whatever it is. If it's non-alcoholic, that's fine, I guess, too. that's
totally
fine
cool.
too. That's totally cool. Cheers to all of you. Tyler, cheers to you on a round well played so far.
Well,
One more
thank
question
you.
to go. It's way easier to chug summer shandy than it is to chug the jalapeno blonde that I had a couple of weeks ago.
Indeed it is. Yep, we got baby milk in the chat. That's what they're drinking. People are drinking all kinds of things. And yep, cheers.
Siren milk.
Templar.
That's right. We love all you guys.
Here.
Thanks for being here. Here we go. Tyler, it's Jedi Master time. Are you ready?
All right, let's do this. Okay.
All right, guys. Let me just burp real quick and we're going. Tyler, for your final question, I want you to name the captain that Finn looks to flee from Takodana with. I want to know the captain's species. I want to know his 3 most well-known alliterative aliases. I want to know the name of his ship. I want to know the name of his first mate. And I want to know his first mate's species. There are, now each alliterative alias is 2 words. Each word is worth 1 point. There are 11 answers, 11 points total.
Wow. Okay. Thankfully, I know some of this.
You're not going to totally strike out?
I'm not going to totally strike out.
Okay, good.
Unfortunately, it's just the species I think I don't know. Wow,
Okay.
that's a deep pull. So it's Captain Ithano?
Yep, it
Right?
is. First name? Can you give me first name? I'll accept Captain Ithano. Yep.
You have to give me a minute. I know it, but I'll need a second. Then the aliases. Actually, let me give the ship because that's popping in my head. The Mason Martinet.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's 2 points.
That's what like Finn is supposed to go on. They're loading it up.
Correct.
His first mate is Quiggold.
Quiggold is correct. 3 points.
Okay, so then his other names are the Blood Buccaneer.
Correct. That's 2 points you get for that. As I said, they are all alliterative.
Oh crap!
To be totally pretentious,
the Red Rider.
I'll let you redo that one time. One more chance to rephrase that one. Templar says, is that pepper beer? Are you talking about our summer shandies? Or are you talking about the jalapeno beer? The jalapeno beer is called a Zalapa. It's from One Well Brewing in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And Templar, we owe you beers. You've sent us beers before. We need to send you some Michigan beers.
Yeah, we really do. But before I forget, Crimson Crosshair?
The Crimson Corsair? I'll give that to you. I'll give it to you.
Okay. Okay.
It's not Crosshair. I'm just going to assume
so close.
You said it so fast and so close that I'm going to give it to you.
That's exactly what it was.
Yes. No, if this were for a perfect round, I would have been like, no, you only get 1 point for that. Now,
but yeah, okay, but so now,
Tiger Mouse.
But yeah, getting back to it, yeah, we need to send Templar some beer because obviously Michigan has tons of breweries as well.
Yeah, we owe Templar some Michigan beer.
has sent us some amazing brews. We got to return the favor there because he sent us some really good stuff, and we've got some really good stuff here. We should box him up and send him his way for sure.
He's getting the jalapeno blonde for sure because those are fantastic.
That milkshake ale we had the other day too. I was really impressed with that one.
That was also One Well Brewing out of Kalamazoo. Yeah, really.
That was One Well as well. Oh yeah, that was good. Yep.
All right, Tyler. What else we got?
I don't know their species.
You've already done. I was worried that you might get the captain's name. I was worried that you might only get one, and I'm like, oh man. And then I thought maybe he'd get Quiggold. Right. It's Sid or Sedano, Sedan Ethano.
Okay, I knew it started with an S, but I was like, man, I'll need a minute to come up with it. Okay, yep.
Yep, Quiggold, correct. You got the Blood Buccaneer and the Crimson Corsair.
Corsair.
And there is
which
one more. You
is
said
obviously
Red
what I meant.
Rider. I'm giving you one more shot to retract and rephrase your answer on that.
Do I get partial credit? I get half
Well,
points?
you'll get at least points for red because red is correct. I told you that I would give you. That's why. So literally, if this was a perfect round, okay, the reason I said I assigned each of these 2 points was so that if you said something like the crimson crosshair, I would say, no, you get 1 point for saying crimson.
Right.
But you did not give me the correct alliterative, the second part.
Okay.
Alliterative, being totally pretentious, just means that each answer starts with the same letter. And so he got the BB, Blood Buccaneer, CC, Crimson Corsair, sort of. I'm giving it to him. And
nailed it. I was talking fast. I had just chugged a beer.
And they said,
Red
Rider. It's not Red
Rider. The sun
Rider.
was in my eyes. I was walking uphill both ways.
The sun was in his eyes.
Gosh, I could have sworn it was like Red Rider. Crap. Red Raider.
Yes, it's Red Raider.
I
was gonna say you're literally missing one letter.
Okay.
One letter. You're so close.
We got it though.
It is the Red Raider, so I'm going to give you credit for that. Now, Tyler, you're already at 9 out of 11.
And that's all I have. I honestly don't know what their species are. I'll guess because he's wearing a mask. I'll say human.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Then I don't know.
Okay.
And then I know Quiggold isn't. So.
So Quiggold is a Gabdoran. And then Captain Elthano is a Delphidian. A Delphidian. And so that's it, man. That's 9 out of 11. That's a great round.
Okay.
So you only missed 5 total points. That is a 61 out of 66 points, which I believe is our second highest total ever, which I think you had a 62 once. Is that right?
I think I had 62 that one time. Yep. So I've had another round of this. I'll take that, man. I will take that. I'm a little, but you know what? Again, because I stumbled, knowing that it wouldn't have been a perfect round regardless, always honestly kind of makes me feel a little bit better. Because again, if I would have just crushed this one, that would have really stuck in my craw. That like, how did I miss that one part of the Ray question? But you know, a 60 around the 60s, I'll take that any day of the week. That is 61
that's great. Out of 66, an absolutely killer round. Templar Frederick is going to have a busy week this week for next week for sure. But again, like you said, The Force Awakens, as I was going through this, so I wrote all of the other questions, fairly quickly. Like I was kind of going through it, going, yes, good question. And I got to the bonus question, and I was just kind of looking, going, like you said, where is it? What am I going to ask about? And then I thought, what would be a really good one was naming like every named stormtrooper in the movie, but I couldn't find a definitive canon guide.
That's tough.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, because I'm like, there's FN2187, FN 2003, TK. It's like I'm like, okay, this could be a really, really good, even if there's like 6 of them. Right. It's like you basically assign 2 points each. And it's like, that'd be a really cool question. Yeah, but I could not find anything that would remotely allow you to know that, or that it's confirmed even necessarily. Do you know what I mean?
And because I've had a few questions like that for, it always is the bonus. The bonuses can always be like the hardest ones.
It's hard to pick a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. At times, like sometimes they lend themselves really easily, but at times they're super hard. And I've had that before too, where you get conflicting information in canon, right? Like you get conflicting information, and if it's not in the visual dictionary, which it's just accepted canon, then it's like when you're going online and you have places that are all kind of like accepted as being very good resources for canon material, and they're disagreeing. It's like, well, then I can't use that as a question for you, right? It's not fair if like you have a perfect game on the line and I had conflicting sources. It's like, it's too dangerous. Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. But I mean, I saw this thing. And so what I was going to do, and I'll tell you how I got to this question, is I was going to do Maz's castle, and it was going to be patrons in Maz's castle. And that's what I was going to do. And I was going to focus. Right. But then again, you kind of go through the visual dictionary and you realize that they don't touch on everyone. And that it's like, it kind of becomes a Mos Eisley Cantina thing when you're like, there's a whole bunch of answers that some were in old movies, like in their old versions, some are not in the master versions, which is why I didn't ask about the Cantina before, and maybe why you didn't too. But I mean, this is kind of the same thing where I'm like, okay, well, the visual dictionary only says this about these characters. It doesn't mention these characters, but they're named. And so it's like, I can't ask about everyone because then I'm going to have separate sheets and it's going to take a lot of research. And so then I literally saw the section in the visual dictionary, knowing that we consider that to be absolutely fair game.
Right.
And so and I was like, it wasn't even just a random character. Captain Athano is the character that Finn talks to. He talks to him. He talks to Quiggled. They are there. Finn is leaving with Captain Athano to escape.
They're packing the bags,
Takodana.
going on the ship.
So, to me, again, it's like he now is a character who interacts with our main characters. And so knowing the ship Finn was going to leave on, the captain, their species, and then maybe like the nicknames, which are all over the visual dictionary, I thought was a difficult but fair question. And again, you got 9 out of 11. If I was being a jerk, you would have got 7. You know, if I tried to do the Rider, Raider, or Crosshair, Corsair, but it's like those are so hard, and you basically have it, and it's not like a perfect round is on the line. It's like
if a perfect round were on the line, we get a lot more stringent there. But still, I'm happy with how I did in that round. Again, anytime you're in the 60s, we're good. We're normally happy with the 50s. So if I'm in the 60s, that was a great round. And that was a hard one. And I told you, I was nervous about this question because you're watching it, trying to anticipate what the person might ask you, what they might think is a good question. And I was trying to think about a good bonus and couldn't come up with anything. And like, I kind of came up with some random ideas, like what I would ask you, but I'm like, but he would never think that I would do that. And so it's like, whatever he comes up with, I'm probably...
You would never think I would ask you about Captain Athano.
Exactly. Like the only reason I was prepared is because I thought maybe those would be like a Jedi Knight question or something. Like because the reason I even was semi-dangerous on his nicknames, although, I was a little bit rough on him, was because at one point I was even like, I wonder if he'd do this as like a 3-part Jedi Knight. Like, what is Captain Athano's other nicknames or something?
Would have been a great Jedi Knight 2-point each split question. Yeah.
Yep. And so that's why I was even kind of semi-dangerous there. But then I'd never even thought to look at their species or anything. But still, totally happy with that round. That was a great question. That was a fun round, man.
It was. You did fantastic, of course, as always. Ray, #BookBarBros. There you go. Go down and let us know how you guys did. Like, we always say, tally your points and be honest and let us know. Cause we are curious. We are trying to measure ourselves versus everyone, not just ourselves, but you guys and Star Wars fans in general. Again, we have said the Schmodown Entertainment Network, that's where we want to be. And it's going to take more work. It's going to take even more work for us to get there because the competition in those things is just getting harder and harder and harder. And so we're prepping hard. We're working hard. We want to get there. We're going to get there eventually. So give this thing a thumbs up if you like it. Smash that that like button for us. We would appreciate it. Help us build this thing. Push it out. It's a great round, Tyler. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. That was a good one. And this is just the beginning, man. Just the beginning of our eventual domination in Star Wars trivia. I mean, can you imagine? Look how far we've come, and how long we've been doing this. Can you imagine what we're going to be like this same time next year? Like, how deadly? Are we going to be?
We'll be deadly. I think we'll be deadly.
Yeah, and so because that's the goal. Next year, we want to start entering in competitions. Again, doesn't mean competition is stiff, but how far we've come in this time. This same time next year, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. We keep going. We are going to steamroll people. I think that's just. It's inevitable. So let's do it.
Inevitable. All right. Well, with that, let's take us in to our final segment, as always. Tyler's signature sign off. If you are not aware, people who don't even like Star Wars tune into these and they sit through the whole live just to see Tyler's signature sign off. Tyler, what do we got tonight?
Well, tonight, just as you know, this is actually more about you. So for this week's sign off, Justin actually has some very special news for us. Justin has learned exactly how Maz Kanata came to be in possession of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. And Justin, I believe you're going to share that with us today. So please, for the sign off.
Yes. So I have an inside source, and I learned that she got this by, hold on one second. My phone is ringing.
That's okay. That's a
So
bit
it's,
tacky.
it's,
We're
it's
right in the middle
a
of a
message. Hold on. Well, hold
okay.
on. It's from Lucasfilm.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's important. You should take it, I guess. If
They actually just told me that if I reveal how Maz Kanata ended up with Luke's lightsaber in The Force Awakens, that they're going to kill me and my entire family. Lucasfilm takes this very seriously, and so Tyler, unfortunately, I'm just not going to be able to share that information.
Okay, Justin, you know I can take whatever I want.
Can you? What are you doing? Tyler, get out of my head.
Did you just fart?
What? No.
I'm pretty sure I was just mind raping you here, and I'm pretty sure you just farted. Dude, we have a show we're trying to do here.
I didn't fart. I was under your control.
Oh my God, dude. Are you serious? I can smell it. Oh, dude, that is rank, man. How can I even smell that? You're in a different city. Oh, I farted. I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed for you. Well, good night, everybody.